So the chapter that we are going to revise is Summer of the Beautiful White Horse. And the story is narrated by Aram, who talks about his childhood days when he was 9 years old. Right? So Aram, he is the member of Armenian tribe and he belongs to Geroglanian family. Don't confuse with the name of the tribe and the family. So they lived in the vineyards of California. And one morning what happened is that Aram, he was awakened by the knock, which was made by his cousin Murad. And it was early morning hours when everybody was fast asleep. He was surprised to see his brother Murad on a white horse. He could not believe that he was actually looking at a horse which was beautiful, which was white in color, and he was not dreaming at all. At first, he could not believe that his brother had brought a horse because they belonged to a family which was extremely poor, who could not afford to buy a horse. They were so poor. So that's why he was little astonished to see his cousin Murad on a horse. The Geroglanian family, it is always noted not only for its poverty, but also for its honesty. So it is quite unthinkable that Murad could have stolen the horse. We find that the narrator Aram, he gives a brief description of his family, that they were proud first, honest next, and then they thought what was right and wrong. He shares this that they could never compromise with the honesty, and stealing was the last thing. So he thought that being a member of the Geroglanian family, Murad, he could not have stolen the horse, but they were not in a position to even buy a horse. Now Aram, he asked Murad if he had stolen the horse, and Murad, he avoided answering the question and he asked Aram to come for a ride. Aram knew very well that it was a stolen horse and it would be wrong to ride a stolen horse, but still he could not resist himself. He could not stop himself from going for a ride. And he justified this act of stealing, calling it that it was not at all a stealing. It would amount to stealing if they were going to sell the horse. As per Murad, it was just a borrowed horse, and thus they were going to return the horse to its rightful owner after they had taken the joyful pleasure rides. So thus, Aram convinced himself that it was not at all stealing, and he wanted to fulfill his long desire that he had of riding a horse. So he decided to ride a horse. He could not stop himself from doing that. So he gave such a kind of justification that it was not at all stealing as stealing money. And they were going to return the horse to the owner. So they begin to ride the horse. Murad is extremely happy. They move to the countryside and Murad begins to sing. Now, when they reach the open countryside, Aram, he asked Murad that he wanted to take a ride. At first, Murad refused, but then he agreed. But before that, Murad, he took the ride himself. He rode alone. And after he came back, he handed over the horse to Aram. But when Aram tried to ride the horse, he failed to control the animal, the horse. He had always dreamt that he would be riding a horse, and there was also a nightmare associated that whenever he would sit on the horse would not move. And actually, when he sat on the horse, it did not move. And then Murad suggested him to kick into his muscles, and as he kicked it, the horse started to run. But what happened is Aram, he failed to control the horse and he fell from the horse and the horse was lost. The two boys started looking for the horse and finally they found it and they decided to hid it somewhere. But this time again, Murad was not at all worried. He knew a place where he could ride it, and Aram concluded that it was not for the first time that Murad had come on a horse. He was taking the pleasure ride from very many days. And in between the section of the story, we are also informed about Uncle Khusro. Because the narrator, he talks about the crazy streak that Murad had, because people considered Murad as crazy. But Aram never considered Murad to be crazy. He admired he admired Murad. Because Murad, he was a zestful boy. He lived the life to the fullest. He never thought about whether he was doing right or wrong. Whatever thought came to his mind, he just did that. And because of these habits, people used to consider him little crazy. But Aram had different opinion. He admired him. He wanted to be like Murad. He knew that how Murad wonderfully handled the horses, the animals, the people. He wanted to also know how to handle horses because he wanted to ride the horse properly, because every time whenever Aram rode, he fell off the horse. So this craziness is talked about in the chapter, that Murad has inherited the craziness from his uncle Khusro. The narrator makes this fact clear that being a member of the Garuglanian family, it is not necessary that you will get the inherited streaks from your biological father. Because Aram had not inherited this craziness from his biological father. And in Garuglanian family, in the Armenian tribe, this crazy streak is always ranging from one person to another. It is always different. But one thing is sure, that the people, they inherited the craziness. So we had discussed about here Uncle Khusro, who was an irritable man. He was short-tempered and he would repeat a refrain, pay no attention, it is no harm. Whatever the situation be, he would simply repeat this refrain. And Aram also shared a story here, brief story, where his son came running to him to tell that their house was on fire, but the man shouted at his own son saying, pay no attention, it is no harm. The barber, because he was at the time at the barber's shop, he thought that he might not have understood what his son had said. He repeated in his whatever the son had said, that your son is telling you that your house is on fire. He shouted again, pay no attention. So this way we see the craziness that was there in Uncle Khusro. And we are told that Murad, he had inherited this craziness from Uncle Khusro. And then we see that how these two boys, they took pleasure rides. And one day when they were coming back after taking the pleasure ride, they were going to hide the horse, and they had chosen, what place they had chosen to hide the horse? Can you tell me the name? No, it was an abandoned farm, and the owner was Fetwajian. So Fetwajian ka farm tha, where they used to hide the horse. So while they were returning, they met John Byro on the way. When John Byro saw these two boys with the horse, beautiful white horse, he decided to talk to the boys. Murad, he told Aram that he had a way with the people, so he would better talk with this farmer, John Byro. They greeted each other, and John Byro requested to check the horse, that he wanted to see the horse because his horse was also lost a month ago and it was still not found. So when these two boys, they saw him, they were Aram became little nervous, but Murad was very confident. He told John Byro that he could examine the horse. When John Byro, he examined the horse, he found that it was his horse. But still he could not believe that the boys could actually steal the horse. and he went away saying that it was the twin of his horse. And he made a remark that a suspicious man would believe his eyes, not heart. John Byro, he believed his heart. He had so much faith in the name and fame of Garoglanian family, the Armenian type, in the honesty of the family, that the boys, the children belonging to such family could never steal. And he went away saying that it was the twin of his horse. Just before this incident, one more incident is there where John Byro came to meet Uncle Khusro, and Aram overheard the conversation between them. John Byro had come to express his sadness, his grief to Uncle Khusro. He wanted to tell him that how he was in a problem because the horse was lost and it was still not found. His legs used to hurt him because he had to walk miles to come to the town, and his horse was not there, so his sare was of no use to him, and the horse cost him $60. So he wanted to share this problem with Uncle Khusro, but Uncle Khusro, as he was of irritable nature, he just shouted at him that pay no attention, it's no harm. He went away from there. Mother of Aram, she tried to console this person, John Byro, saying that this man is homesick and he was suffering from grief. He was missing his homeland, and that is why he was of irritable nature. He was short-tempered. And after that, John Byro went away. When Aram came to know that the horse that they were riding from so many days, it belonged to John Byro. He came running to Murad. He wanted to tell him that he should not return the horse because he wanted to learn how to ride the horse. Murad also promised that they would not return it, but he told him that they would certainly return the horse after 6 months. But now, when we see that they met John Byro there, the way John Byro, he expressed his faith on the family, Garoglanian family, these two boys were moved. They were not afraid. They felt that the way this man had showed the faith in their family, it would not be right to give him such kind of pain by riding the horse, keeping the horse with them. And Murad came to a conclusion that it was time that they should take the correct decision. And the decision was to return the horse to John Byro. So they went next day and they returned the horse, quietly kept the horse at John Byro's farm there, and they came back. When John Byro, he came to know that his horse was there in the farm, he was extremely happy. He came with the horse to Aram's house, showing the horse to the mother of Aram, and also telling Uncle Khusro that he had found the horse. He thanked God that the horse was returned. He found the horse to be better tempered and in a healthy situation. So he did not complain about the boys, although he knew that the horse was with the boys. But he was happy that it was returned to him. And this is where the story ends. And at the end, we still find Uncle Khusro repeating the same thing. Your horse is returned, so pay no attention. It is no harm. So we see that the boys, they had returned the horse because they were conscience stricken. Their conscience did not allow them to keep the horse any longer. And it was the time that the boys, they should have taken the correct decision of returning the horse, because they knew that it would actually put a blame on their family, and they did not want that. So they decided to return the horse, listening to their conscience. I hope the story is okay. Recalled every incident. So let's start with the question answer. Okay. Those who are online, you can also participate. You can raise your hand to answer the question. And you can unmute yourself. I've given you the right to unmute. Now, in the beginning of the story, the way the narrator, he had introduced the chapter, we find him a little bit nostalgic. So what exactly is nostalgia? Describe the nostalgic beginning of the story. Describe the nostalgic beginning of the story. Yes, Sveta, what is your name? Jasmine, yes, answer the question. If from online anybody is ready with the answer, you can raise hand. Ji Jasmine. What is a nostalgia? First, you need to explain that. Nostalgia is already explained to you. It was also discussed in the poem Photograph. So what exactly is a nostalgia? And how is the narrator describing this feeling in the beginning of the story? No. First, give the meaning of the word nostalgia. Anybody else who can tell the meaning? Okay. Yes, beta. Your name? Harmeen. Your roll number, beta? हाँ जी, हरमीन बताइए. Yes, absolutely correct. When you fondly remember your past and you become emotional, sometimes you feel happy, sometimes you feel sad. That feeling, the mixed feeling, is called nostalgia. And in the beginning, we find that the narrator, he's sharing about his childhood days experience, how he called that those days were full of magnificence, grandeur. The world of children, it is always filled with magnificent ideas, magical ideas. They live in their own world of dreams. So he calls that those were the days, the wonderful days of his childhood, when he had no worries, no tension, and it was full of magnificence. So he remembers the past and he starts with this nostalgic beginning, the fond memories of his childhood. Is it clear to all? Yes. Next question. Who tapped on the window? What did Aram see when he looked out of the window? Jasmine, you can answer this question now. This is a simple one. Okay. Yes, sit down. Your roll number is 16, Jasmine. Next question. Why couldn't the narrator believe that his cousin Murad could not have bought the horse? Yes, correct. Absolutely correct. What is your roll number, beta? Ji. So the answer is that Aram, Murad, they both belong to Garuglanian family and the family was poverty stricken. They were so poor uh, that they could hardly manage a day's meal. But somehow they never went to sleep empty stomach. They never compromised with their honesty. So they were so poor that Aram thought that Murad was not in a position to buy a horse, and that is why he said so, that he could not have bought the horse. Next. It's the same question, but in a twisted manner. Why did Aram conclude that Murad had stolen the horse? Yes. Ismail will add one more point that when he asked him, he avoided giving answer to the question, and this made him sure that the horse was stolen. So again, same thing is to be referred here. Very good. आपका roll number बेटा Devanshi. That the family, Garoclanian family, was poverty stricken, but they were always known for their honesty. So you will justify both the points here, that they could not afford buying a horse and they could never steal even. So when Murad was not in a position of buying a horse, it was sure that he had stolen it. And Aram was sure when he asked Murad this question whether he had stolen it, he avoided giving the answer, and then he was sure that he had stolen. Is it clear? So he concluded that it was a stolen horse. Next question. Why did narrator believe that stealing a horse for a ride was not the same thing as stealing? Yes. Yes. Correct. Absolutely correct. Ji. So इसमें add कर दोगे, and they were not going to sell it. They were going to return the horse to its rightful owner after taking pleasure ride. From online, beta, who can answer this question? What's your roll number, beta? पढ़ के आए हो अच्छे से. Good. Yes. From online, hurry up, beta. चलिए, Nandika, answer the question. Same question. I'm repeating the question again. Why did the narrator believe that stealing a horse for a ride was not the same thing as stealing money? Nandika.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
According to him, stealing a horse for a ride was not equivalent to stealing it for money, as it would become stealing until they offer the horse to sell it for money.
Yes, correct answer, beta. Okay? And you will add with this point that I have already repeated that they were going to return the horse to their rightful owner. They were just going to take pleasure ride. So they considered it as a borrowed horse, as they were not going to sell it for money. Yes. Next question. Who had the crazy streak in the family and who was the natural descendant of that streak in the tribe? Who had, next, Hanji, who had the crazy streak in the family and who was the natural descendant of that streak in the tribe, Armenian tribe? Who had the crazy streak in the family? Who was the natural descendant? So complete the sentence and you have to justify it with example. Okay, complete the sentence. Okay, sit down. Your roll number? J. Next girl, same question. You have to justify it with example. So give example. What example you will add to justify the answer? Okay, sit down. I'll come back to you later. Yes, beta. What will be the answer?
The reason was that the store got irritated very easily and on his feet. In every situation, he tried to focus same words and he didn't care about what was happening with him. Once he was at a barber shop and his son he went to his house of life.
Your roll number? Here, beta, you will not add about this example because there are two different persons. You have to cite two examples. So in brief, first you will talk about Uncle Khusro, that how he had a very irritable nature. He was an impatient man who would just repeat a refrain, pay no attention, it is no harm. So he was considered crazy because of his nature. On the other hand, Murad was considered as natural descendant of Uncle Khusro because people also considered him crazy. Murad, he was a very zestful boy who believed in living his life in his own terms, on his own terms. So he always fulfilled whatever he felt doing life. So that is why he was considered as a crazy boy. Is it clear? Accordingly, you will justify the answer. So when will you cite this example of Uncle Khusro's son coming to him? When you get a separate question, talk about the crazy streak of Uncle Khusro. Describe the craziness of Uncle Khusro or describe Uncle Khusro. There you will give this example in detail, that you will add the incident when he was at the barber's shop and when his son came running to him and he told him about the house on fire, how he reacted. So this shows that he was also a crazy person. Is it clear? Okay. Yes, बेटा next girl, आप ही हो जाइए. Yes, आपने आंसर प्रॉपर पूरा नहीं दिया. So same question again with a different one. Who was John Byro? Why did he come to narrator's house? Who was John Byro and why did he come to narrator's house? Hurry up. No, not to take his horse back. Okay, sit down. Yes, but the next. Yes, and there is more to it in the description of this farmer, that he was an Assyrian farmer who had learned to speak Armenian just because he felt lonely there. And he was sad because his horse was stolen a month back, which was still not returned. His saray was of no use, right? And he had to walk miles to come to the town. So he was a little bit troubled and he had come to express his grief to Uncle Khusro, talk to him about this stolen horse. Is it clear? Okay, sit down. आपका roll number क्या है? 3. Okay. Next question. Let me start from the boys here. Hanji beta. Your question. Describe the Garoglanian family of the narrator. And what else? Hurry up. No. Sit down. Answer correct nahi hai. I'll come back to you again. Ayush, roll number 70 online. Unmute kariye. Ayush Chawla.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, answer this question. Describe Garoglanian family of the narrator.
The narrator Aram belongs to the Garoglanian family, which was poor, but they were honest and they felt very proud of their honesty. And they belong to Armenian tribe.
Yes. And what else?
They were proud first and honest after that. It means they felt very proud of their honesty.
Yes. So you need to understand how to put this answer in a proper manner. All the value points are correct, but the link is missing there, right? So learn how to write an answer this way. Answer is correct. So the value points that will come in this answer is that you will describe first that Geroglanian family belongs to the Armenian tribe, the tribe which is famous for its honesty and trustworthiness, right? The hallmark is trust and honesty of the tribe. But this family, Geroglanian family, was considered very poor. But they never slept empty stomach. Somehow, the narrator, he calls that it was an amazing poverty. They were poverty stricken, but they never went empty stomach to sleep. But this family, they were never compromised with the honesty. They were proud first, honest next, and then they decided what was right or wrong. They never took advantage of others. And they followed the path of honesty always. Okay? We will continue. We have another lecture today. No? We will continue discussing the questions of this chapter in the next lecture then. Okay? Yes. Okay. Those who are online better, we will keep discussing the question in the next lecture as well.